Hello, I am so happy to have you along here at the Oracle of the Feather Crown Tree. This is for anyone that's interested in the masculine energy. So we're going to take a look into some options that may be available. If you would like a personal reading with me, feel free to book. You can look below for a link to my website to do that. And let's see here. What else do you guys need to know? Oh, I'm going to conduct this as a pick a card. So if you want to participate in that way, pick a number between 1 and 4. If you are already in partnership with someone, that's perfectly fine. You can still do the pick a card. Or if you know their energy or dominant energy, you can go by that, because I am going to break down each number by element. We will also take a look at what's really attracting to them to you, if that should be the case. Harmonies in the relationship, disharmony, and really the strongest area of bonding that can happen. So keep in mind that anything that you find attractive in this person is probably something that you are seeking to build in yourself. Okay, so we are going to start with number 1. That is also going to be a water sign, or someone that appears to have a lot of water in their conduct and whatnot. So with this person, you may feel that they're definitely busy with something. They're definitely trying to fulfill their life purpose. You may even find them in a stage of life where they've exhausted one career and they're really going after something that sort of supersedes career for them, like a true purpose for them. And they seem to be very intent on that. You may simply be left kind of watching them, kind of right on by in their full glory without them seeming to pay you much mind. Given that it's a water sign, I really doubt that they don't care. I do know that they will probably take opportunities, though, when they present themselves and when they feel really motivated to do so. So you may have just caught them in a moment or a phase where they seem very self-directed about where they're headed. The project that they may be involved in, or whatever this is, feels exceptionally powerful. It feels like it's taken them a long time probably to learn how to even be in this energy, to be alongside this energy, to have a relationship with whatever it is that they're pursuing. So I think that's probably why they may seem distracted by it, but it's also something that takes a lot of focus to do, and to do well. There is almost an element of danger if they break their focus, or if they're not completely in it 100%. So I think they knew that going in, and I think that's what you're witnessing. They probably have not had a lot of luck in their life anyway with relationships, and so they may be at a point where they're just owning their own personal truth more and trying to prioritize that, as maybe relationships have not ever really panned out, and this is something that they feel like they can take the distance, and that's what they're really interested in doing. They want a big movement. They want to traverse a lot of territory right now. And this thing also really charges them up. I don't feel that this person would be unavailable towards you. It's just that you would have to respect their boundaries. You would also have to come as someone that has probably strong boundaries of your own, quite a bit of your own passion, and is mature in the way that you really want a healthy, functioning dynamic going on that doesn't involve codependency I think, in reading energies over the last 6 months, with every new month, even every new week, I just feel that collectively we've really been evolving as a species, and I've seen a lot of energies that normally we would cliche, or we would kind of stereotype into certain behavior norms, really breaking free out of that. So anything is possible at this time. Okay, so let's move on to number 2. That option is going to be probably an earth sign, or have a lot of those qualities. This person, you may be caught up in trying to figure out, is this an illusion? Is this real? You're quite attracted, but there is that quality of like too good to be true going on here. So you're kind of hesitant because of that, because you're waiting for, the bubble to burst here. I do think this person is interested in you and has a lot of resonance with you. Like they genuinely are honest in that they're interested. I think that they may be also kind of figuring you out too. But I get that it's like they're willing to go the distance given that they understand the circumstances, given all the information. As long as they're kind of fully informed, they are able to commit. This person seems like a lot of fun too. I feel like they enjoy kind of having a frenzy of passion and excitement around them, and just like that feeling of being invigorated by just being alive and enjoying things around them. Like they really enjoy their surroundings and they merge well with their environment. They like to be in touch with it. They may enjoy being outdoors quite a bit, and love, doing things outdoors that may be, physically engaging for them. Yeah, so they've got that like strength, but that soft-hearted quality too. It's very alluring, if you know what I mean. Number 3 is going to be an air sign, or someone with a lot of that quality to them. This person may feel like you can't quite trust them. They may have a little sneaky element to them. And I think that what you're seeing there is a bit of a defense mechanism. I think that they are probably not as interested in being in a dynamic right now with someone, and I feel like they're kind of in a middle ground area where maybe they kind of recently got out of something and they just need some space before going into something new. They need to kind of sort through some things and reassess some of the things going on. And I feel like the timing just may not be quite right at this moment. And because of that too, I'm getting that they may be projecting things on you that are not fair, because they are still probably healing or processing something. So they may be framing you and just seeing you in a way where they can't see you completely. And they're going to need to learn to trust themselves and rebuild that relationship with themselves so that they can then make fair assessments of things, of people around them. Yeah. And I think that they're going to be hard to even like spend time with. They're not going to want to really stay still or, go somewhere, really be available so much right now. And if you picked number 4, fire sign, anyone with a lot of fire qualities. So this person you may have your eye on them, but they may have their eye on someone else, is what I'm getting here. They seem like this is so true what I'm going to say. Talk about a cliche. So this will not have escaped a cliche. They love the hunt. They love the hunt. And I think that they're so conditioned into that they've probably fallen into that mode because it's so second nature to them. And they could do this because sometimes when we're pushed to evolve, pushed to change, we can resort back to, we can either stay in our comfort zone, we can rise to the challenge, or we can even regress. And I feel like they're just kind of in their comfort zone. They like to feel confident. And I think rejection is really hard for them. And that's hard for, I think, people perceiving fire signs because they have such an abundance, an overabundance of confidence that it's hard to imagine why a simple rejection would really deflate them that much, because it just seems like they would just switch target, which is what they're doing. So, and I feel like, it's going to be kind of an endless process for them. Like, that's what they do. Like, if they don't get the one thing, they'll just go on to the next and then go on to the next. I don't feel like they're really getting the investment that it takes to be in a long-term commitment right now. So if that's something that you want, I guess, tread lightly. Especially if you don't like feeling like love is, a game of predator and prey. They may also have a very strong, stubborn quality to them too, where you may end up butting heads to a certain degree, and there may be an authority about them that seems a little too inflated for how they've really earned it. Like they may carry too much authority for what they really should have, like it's a false sense of assumed authority. There's even kind of like a slight spoiled quality coming off of them too. Like from parents, they may have been really Their life may be helped immensely by the care of parents. Okay, let's look now at what they find attractive about you. And you know what? I need to grab a few other cards. It looks like I got the pulls reversed. It'll just take me a second. So overall, what I'm getting here is that they are finding that you are really strong to a certain degree, or at least you try to be. That you have a lot of self-respect, and that you try to stand up for yourself. You try to handle your things. You try to be independent, and even if you are not perfect at it, they see you in your integrity, and that you probably have a few causes that you'll speak out for, that you are vigilant about, that that create meaning for your life, that that make you care about something beyond just yourself. Now, what I'm going to see here as far as what they may find not as attractive is that you may not be as focused on them. You may be seeking something that is mysterious for you, something that you haven't quite figured out. You may appear to even be vain, although what you're doing is actually self-development for the higher good. It may come off as personal vanity because of the amount of focus and care, and that it just takes so much of yourself invested in it to do. And that you have an element about you that's really good, and I think that that could be kind of intimidating for them, that maybe they're not used to someone that is so complete within themselves. They're always looking for the flaws. They're looking to judge, and they don't quite know what to do with someone that's just sort of fine on their own. They're not sure how to maybe connect with that because they're used to more common conflicts and scenarios. But overall, I feel like it's like that you're just not showing a lot of interest in them at this time. Now, what could be a very harmonious aspect to this relationship? It's really weird. I'm going to try to relate this, and maybe I'll go somewhere that I'll regret later here. But it feels that like the masculine energy very much likes to be seen, likes to be kind of the top dog energy here, and that the feminine plays sort of that second fiddle to his energy. And it's a shame because the feminine actually is so stellar and has so much to offer that when they're put side by side, it almost takes away from the masculine's power. It kind of overexposes his pomp. Some way, and this is supposed to be what's harmonious, I know, but in some way the power dynamic between this power couple is not flattering to either of them on an individual level. As a power couple, it kind of works as a unit, I guess, would be like where the harmony's at. Like when they present as, two as one, I think it's fine, but taking them on an individual level, it really detracts. So maybe there's something here about really giving yourself to a union, really becoming part of something beyond yourself that's more important than your own success and fame and glory and all that. And I feel like in doing that there are this part of reality that's touched that sometimes we only really see in the art world. It's like that extra step that if we don't play life too cautiously, if we take a little risk, that we can expose and we can reveal something new about a social situation and how it's connected to maybe a religious institution. Just these things that are very important to us as a society, that this is like when art comes in, sometimes it will be able to shed like a very unique light on that. And I feel like that the couple here has a potential to get into that territory of kind of taking a conversation and to like the next level. Now, as far as what may be not so harmonious here, oh my goodness, we've got it twice. Although it's like switched positions. That's crazy. And I feel like she's come out recently. So it's a Joan of Arc image here. I feel like she's come out recently. In some of the more recent reads for this spread. So there is this feminine power, and I feel like it's a threat. And it's not only the feminine standing up for herself, it's not really about that, it's for another cause, and her being fearless about standing for another cause. That could be an issue. And it's because it threatens the power of the masculine. You may be dealing with someone that's not that hasn't really looked at that maybe hasn't been challenged in that way to look at their power and their authority so much. It may have never been really questioned. It's that, and also the need for attention. So you may be dealing with someone that's been very well nurtured a lot, and you may find that they have very close friendships or parental relationships, something going on where they're made to feel very special, like the center of stuff. And without that, that could be a threat too. If you give yourself to like a cause, they may not have what you need there. Okay, so then your final card's really going to look at where you can create the deepest bond, potentially. I may have to redefine this position, because every time I try to read it, it seems that it doesn't start off good sometimes. It can go either way, at least. Okay, so we'll go there. Sometimes it switches up and something comes through. So, okay. I feel that the masculine is not entertained by the feminine's need to be a little bit quirky and experimental and just sort of off the wall in a way. So you may be in that mode at this time, and it's like he's participating, but not in a wholehearted way, more as just like an observer and not immersed in the experience. He's also semi-reserved in most ways, other than allowing himself to be sexually available. So there is, kind of a willingness to be in, as far as like that aspect goes, but any further, I'm not necessarily getting that. So if you are looking for something that is more in that realm, where it's more of a physical relationship, this may work out well, because the masculine is not so involved in other ways. And I think that's mainly because the feminine is just quite bizarre and quirky to him, different than him, and there's kind of like a disconnect there because of that. And I'm also getting that, this could be kind of fast, so this might be sort of a short-term thing. And yet, I should say, it's got some productivity to it, like there's some fruitfulness to it. So this may happen in the mental realm as well. Like you may have some dialogue, an important conversation, something here that really brings this fruition about, which I was kind of seeing here, like where you take something to another level that really produces something outside of really working on a traditional relationship. And that may be it too with the masculine energy. Like they may be thinking in more traditional terms, and the feminine energy may be just a little bit more free and not as into conformity. Maybe just showing up in a way that is so unexpected that they're not quite sure what to take of it or what to make of it. All right, that's all I got for you. So thank you for joining in. There will, of course, be the masculine's take on all this energy this week as well. So please join in for that reading if you feel drawn to it. And I do have other playlists if you want to check out any of my other themed spreads that I give throughout the months. You're more than welcome to. All right, take care.